The Darkest Chapter, Victoria Beckham reflects on the 2003 scandal that nearly ended her marriage. Time may heal all wounds, but some things we can never forget. Fashion designer Victoria Beckham shared about the saddest chapter of her life. Marking 20 years since rumors of her husband's infidelity emerged, Victoria spoke for the first time about the dark and heartbreaking period that almost ended her marriage. She admitted that the events of 2003 were a near breaking point for her relationship with David Beckham. The Beckham documentary, chronicling the life and career of former football superstar David Beckham, has captivated audiences, particularly Victoria's revelations about the tumultuous period when David was accused of having extramarital affairs during his time in Spain. At the time, David had transferred from Manchester United, England, to Real Madrid, Spain, a move that often kept the couple apart. During this separation, several women claimed to have had romantic relationships with David, including his then personal assistant, Loos. Reflecting on that time, Victoria described it as the hardest period of my life. She revealed, "I felt like the whole world was against us, but worse, we were turning against each other. That was truly how I felt at the time." The newly released documentary on an online streaming platform provides an intimate look at Victoria's pain and anger in 2003 as she fought to hold her marriage together. She described this phase as the most devastating of her life. Before the scandal, Victoria shared that her marriage with David had already endured its share of challenges. The couple constantly faced scrutiny and unfounded rumors, making them feel as though they were perpetually fighting against the world. Despite their resilience, David's move to Spain created a strain in their bond. Both felt increasingly disconnected, grappling with sadness and the overwhelming stress of maintaining their marriage amidst public scrutiny. Looking back, Victoria described that time as a nightmare. Comparing the chaos to a circus, she acknowledged that many people seemed to take pleasure in her family's turmoil, with their struggles dominating the headlines. Notably, neither David nor Victoria explicitly addressed the claims of infidelity in the documentary, nor did they mention the women who had come forward with their allegations. However, when asked if she felt hatred toward her husband during that period, Victoria admitted, yes. She emphasized that the chaos marked the unhappiest time of her life. David also reflected on the scandal in the documentary, admitting, "There were some truly awful moments, things that were incredibly hard to face. It was the first time Victoria and I truly felt the strain and pressure on our marriage. Despite the storm, the Beckhams managed to weather the crisis and remain together." David revealed that during those days, he often felt so miserable and embarrassed that he didn't want to leave the house, train with his teammates, or even pretend that everything was fine. When asked how they overcame such immense pressure, David explained, "At that time, every morning brought new headlines. We didn't feel like we were drifting apart. We felt like we were drowning. In the end, we decided that this was a matter for the two of us to handle alone, focusing on supporting each other through it." Loos lost herself after scandal with Becks. Loos confessed that she lost herself and indulged in a whirlwind of parties after admitting to an affair with former midfielder David Beckham more than 20 years ago. The former secretary, who caused a crisis in the Beckham household back in 2004, revisited the scandal in a recent interview. Rebecca revealed that she and Beckham had to hide in the trunk of a car to reach their first date at the Barcemcilla restaurant owned by actor Javier Bardem's family. Rebecca shared that after exposing her clandestine relationship with the former Real Madrid midfielder, she had initially planned to leave Spain for Australia but changed her plans due to threats. Over 2 decades ago, Loos became the center of a media storm after her affair with David Beckham. The legendary midfielder and global icon was exposed. The scandal not only tarnished Beckham's flawless image, but also sent Rebecca's life on a tumultuous path. From a young, dynamic assistant, she quickly became the target of criticism, ridicule, and judgment from the entire world. However, while the public fixated on gossip, few acknowledged the silent suffering of this woman. Behind the glare of public attention, Rebecca spiraled into a prolonged crisis, a battle between societal condemnation and her inner struggle to rediscover herself. Following the incident, Rebecca's life became an unending cycle of chaos. She threw herself into extravagant parties and late-night revelry to escape the guilt and public pressure. The criticism and ridicule not only hurt her, but also caused her to lose her sense of self-worth. In a recent interview, she candidly shared, "I didn't just lose my career, I lost myself during those years." Rebecca admitted that the scandal was not only a shock for the Beckham family, but also a profound wound in her own life. The public viewed her as a villain, someone who shattered the perfect family image of the football star, but few questioned the emotional pain she endured. 2 decades later, Rebecca Loos unexpectedly returned to the spotlight when a documentary about David Beckham was released, reigniting the old story. In a recent interview, she expressed frustration over how the story was portrayed, feeling that she was made out to be a liar, while Beckham was presented as the victim. This revival of painful memories compelled her to speak out. The warrior in me awakened, Rebecca Loos reflects on scandal, fame, and redemption. The warrior in me awakened, and I defended myself on a British television program. Then I kept appearing on one show after another. It was like a snowball effect. I joined reality TV shows, posed for Playboy. At the time, it was fun, the former Beckham family secretary confessed. But Rebecca Loos soon realized her life had changed irrevocably. She admitted, "A lot of fake friends came into my life. Everything became rushed. I attended countless parties and met so many people. I lost myself." Rebecca also opened up about the challenges she faced as the center of public attention, constantly battling malicious fabrications. One man claimed on a program that he knew me and called me a prostitute, even though I had no connection to him. Another said he had been with me on Ronaldo's yacht in Brazil, and that I had slept with all the footballers. "I've never even been to Brazil. My parents endured so much because of all this," Rebecca shared. "I became famous in Spain, the UK, and the Netherlands. In Spain, people viewed a married man having a mistress as normal. In the UK, they hated me because David was a beloved footballer. In the Netherlands, where I hold citizenship, people were thrilled because I was their only link to David," said Rebecca, who was born in Spain in 1977 to a Dutch father and an English mother. Her multilingual abilities helped her land a job with the Beckham family's company when David and Victoria Beckham prepared to move to Spain after his transfer to Real Madrid in 2003. "My job was to look after Victoria, show her Madrid, and take her shopping. I had to ensure they enjoyed the city and had a great time there. Working for them was challenging because nearly everyone needed me, like bodyguards asking me to read menus at restaurants. I was the first person the Beckhams saw every morning. I suggested plans, found schools for their children, and handled things when they weren't on holiday but stayed in Madrid. It was very stressful," Rebecca added. Years after the scandal, Rebecca met her husband Sven Kristjarskaya and followed him to a remote mountain village in Norway. She embraced a peaceful life with her husband and their 2 sons, immersing herself in nature. Rebecca now primarily stays at home, teaches yoga, and takes care of her family. However, her tranquil life was disrupted when her past with Beckham was brought back into the spotlight following the release of the Beckham documentary in late 2023. Rebecca later criticized the former Real Madrid midfielder for portraying himself as a victim in the affair.